Hello, BMW enthusiasts. All right, the number one, I would say the number one question on any car forum, but also on the BMW E60 E61 forums is, what oil do I use? Let's settle this once and for all, because you get all kinds of answers. You get all kinds of, here is the owner's manual for my 2006 BMW E61. Now, of course, it gets complicated because all I'm going to do is actually answer only one question, because E60s and E61s came with many engines. So mine only applies to the 3-liter N52. That's it. Not the turbocharged N54 or the M54 or all those other ones that I like, the diesel ones and stuff like that. So let's see. Let's do it. Here's the owner's manual. So what do we have? Accident assistance guide. That's not going to have it. Safety tips. No. Join the ultimate BMW club. No. BMW Club of America. I'm in Canada. BMW Center Directory. Look, it's got maps for every single US BMW. That's great. BMW Road Atlas. I don't actually know what was in here. Look at this. West Virginia. That's actually really handy. I mean, it's out of date, but safety warranty information. Telephone user's manual. 5 Series driver's reference guide. So reference guide, I would say this is a good chance that this is going to have instrument panel, instrument cluster, audio system, climate control, seat, memory, maintenance. Maintenance. Here we go. Looks like the owner, look, they put Post-its. The previous owners put Post-its so they could, like, that's how organized they were. Wow. Okay, how to refuel. Onboard diagnostics. Service engine indicator light. Hey, we need to learn about this service engine indicator light. Nothing about oil. Nothing about oil. Okay, caring for your vehicle. This would be a good place to put what kind of oil you're going to need. I'm washing your vehicle. Rubber, chrome, all the how to clean everything. Vehicle? No, nothing about changing the oil. Okay, this is the actual owner's manual. I've never looked at this thing. Panic mode. Didn't know this has oil change intervals. Refer to service requirements. Oil. Approved engine oils. Bah. This is going to be our answer. I see it. Viscosity grades. There it is. Viscosity grades. So, okay, use only approved BMW high-performance synthetic oil. If BMW high-performance synthetic oil is unavailable, you can add small quantities of other synthetic oils. Approved oils belong to the SAE grades 5W40 and 5W30. These oils can be used for all driving at all outside temperatures. There it is. 5W40 and 5W30. Now, so you need on the oil cap, it says Castrol. You can use Castrol. That's the BMW kind. And that's great. Everybody has their favorite engine oil. The brand that I use is Mobil One. People will go crazy for other things, for Royal Purple, Liquid Moly. Liquid Moly, huge fan base, Liquid Moly. Here's my thoughts on Liquid Moly and Royal Purple. I think they're great. I've used Royal Purple. I have seen Liquid Moly, and here's the thing that I noticed. It costs money to put dye into the product. So part of the cost of Royal Purple and Liquid Moly is that they change the color of the oil. I think what's happening with those products, and maybe even, you know, is that I think they're good. I'm not saying they're bad oils, but what I don't like is paying for their marketing. And that's what you're doing, is you're paying for them to change the color, and that's their marketing, that's their gimmick. And it just seems gimmicky to me. The red doesn't make it liquid moly better, and the purple doesn't make it better. It's just, it's a dye that's in, and I'm sure it's a fine product, but I don't think the cost, I don't think it's better than like a Mobil one or a Castrol or whatever the recommended ones. Certainly, I would not spend my money on the BMW brand of oil. I don't know actually how much more expensive it is. It might not even be that much more expensive. The thing about why I use Mobil One is what I do is I have an app on my phone. I live here in Canada. There's a store called Canadian Tire that sells oils, and they have an app, and you can put alerts when stuff goes on sale, and Mobil One is once a year or twice a year, Mobil One will be on sale for like 50% off. So instead of paying like whatever it's $50 for a 5-gallon, you're paying $25. So I just buy it then, and I just store it in my garage, and I have that's why I use, and I've always used Mobil One synthetic. Okay, so there it is. That's the kind of oil to use. 5W30, 5W40. Pick your favorite brand. Just make sure it's a good brand. And make sure it's that SAE, whatever. Just stick Mobil One or Castrol. Stick to those. I mean, I don't know. You could try like a Kirkland, because probably Kirkland is the Castrol. I know they sell Castrol at Costco, so you might try that. But the most important thing, no matter what oil you choose, is how often. Well, I mean, the viscosity is important, but the brand is not. I don't think the brand is as important as people make it out to be. But the important thing is how often do you change your oil? So the car will tell you, that has an onboard computer that tells you. Here's the thing about that. I don't know this generation of computer E60, but I know for the previous generation of computers, so that would be like the E46, E38, all those ones. That the ones that everybody, the beloved, the early 2000s BMWs. The onboard computer would say something like, I know my E46, when you reset the E46, it says 25,000 kilometers is the interval. The next time you change the oil is 25,000 kilometers. Now, years later now, 20 years later, we know now that that is a lie. That's wrong. That's not correct. BMW, Mercedes, and Audi all at the time were basically, it was really hard competition. So one of the things they were competing on were service intervals, and they had just started using these synthetic oils and, recommended synthetic oil, and they made the intervals huge. That was one of the selling points of the cars, is who could have a longer service interval. And 25,000 kilometers is too long. And so what ended up happening is the oils, the oil would break down, and what it would do is it would burn and dry out all of the gaskets in the engine. And so that's why all of those motors, like M52, M54, all of those motors, like valve cover gaskets, leak like crazy. The oil pan gaskets, the oil filter housing gasket, all of those gaskets, they have to be replaced. I had to do all of those on the E46 because they all dried out. Whoever owned the car before obeyed the intervals, and it was just too long. I don't know. Maybe they got better. I don't know actually what the interval is for my 2006, and frankly, I don't care, because you just stick to the old rule of thumb. It actually, whatever that interval is, it's wrong, and I know it takes into account the kilometers you've driven, the heat of the engine, how high you rev it, all of these things it takes into account, and that's great, that's wonderful. The thing is, these cars now, the kilometers are getting so high, the mileage is so high. Mine is at 240,000 kilometers. I don't know, what is that in miles? I don't know what that's gonna be in miles. It's 200,000 miles or 180,000 miles, something like that. That computer is probably tuned. It's not that smart. It's a computer from like 2006, or even probably way before that, 2003. It's not that smart. It's not taking into account the total mileage. So it's probably, thinking that this is still a new engine. I don't care about any of it. 8,000 kilometers, 5,000 miles. 8,000 kilometers, 5,000 miles. You change your oil at that interval, you don't have to worry. It doesn't matter. You can scream that's too much, that's the perfect interval. You might be changing your oil unnecessarily. You might be changing your oil too often. That's not a bad thing, especially in these high mileage cars. The best way to keep your engine healthy is to keep it well lubricated. And then you don't have to worry if you're buying Kirkland brand oil. Don't worry about it. That Kirkland brand is probably the good. Or if you're buying the Canadian, apparently the Canadian Tire synthetic one is something really good too. I won't do it. I am too nervous, and I'm sure a lot of people are too. But hey, so there you go. Thank you. Like, subscribe. More videos coming along sporadically. Love you.